Some of these poll books did not update properly, and in 3 cases, voters were allowed to vote twice. Franklin County now has to report weekly to the state to ensure it is effectively administering elections. I'm Clay Gordon.
How bad is the school bus driver shortage? At Otsego schools near Bowling Green, 3 custodians, 2 cooks, 2 paraprofessionals, even the superintendent now have their CDLs and help drive bus routes when somebody calls off sick or to help out on field trips. I'm Dave James on the Ohio News Network.
Live and local conversation for the Ohio Valley continues shortly here on the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
This is the sound of a popular American motorcycle. It's the sound of freedom, the open road, really good times. And this is what it sounds like with a drunk guy on it. How do you like the sound of that? Cops are cracking down on drunk motorcycle riders. If you ride drunk, you will get caught and you will get arrested. Drunk riding, over the limit, under arrest. Paid for by the U.S. Department of Transportation.
November is an ideal month to plant trees in Ohio because the soil is still warm, which reduces the transplant stress. Plus, trees require less water in November than in the heat of the summer, allowing roots to grow in the cooler temperatures. When planting trees, keep these tips in mind. Select trees that are zone hardy for where you plan to plant. Avoid planting trees that produce slip hazards, like fruits and nuts close to sidewalks. And don't plant large trees near or under utility lines. To learn more about the November tree planting, contact an ISA-certified arborist near you by going to trees4ohio.org. That's trees4ohio.org.
Are you traveling? Working a little bit too much? Is your fur baby starting to get a little shaggy? Let Dirty Paws be your one-stop shop for all of your pet care needs. Stop in and see us at 202 18th Street or give us a call at 304-639-7754 to schedule your appointments for dog grooming, doggy daycare, and dog boarding today.
Over the years, you've brought opioids into your home. They helped when you were in pain, and you held on to them just in case. But holding on to opioids puts your family at risk. Learn more at www.fda.gov/drug disposal.
West Virginia Northern Community College will host its fall open house, both in person and virtually, on Saturday, November 6th, from 9 a.m. to noon. Both formats allow you to learn about programs, admissions, financial aid, and more. If you attend in person in New Martinsville, Wheeling, or Weirton, you can also tour the campus. Everyone participating in Northern's open house could win a $1,000 scholarship. For more information, visit wvncc.edu.
Hello, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster, with a look at your local weather forecast for your Football Friday. Plenty of sunshine to go around with a daytime high near 50 degrees. Overnight low rather chilly, near 28 under partly cloudy skies. Plenty of sunshine again for your Saturday, with highs in the mid to upper 50s. Have yourself a great day, everyone. From the Watchdog, I'm the Storm Tracker, Darnell Foster.
The views and opinions expressed on the following program are not necessarily those of this station or its sponsors.
In the year 1898, Marconi sent his first radio message across the English Channel.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning.
Let's have a tune. I'm sick of this silence.
There's nothing wrong with being fun and popular and just giving people what they want.
This is not a radio fantasy camp. We're on the air here.
You seem happy this morning.
Is it Friday already?
Friday.
All I'm doing is getting on the air. The revolution will be broadcast.
How about Friday?
What's this?
Did you ever hear of a thing called radio?
Thank God it's Friday!
It's show time.
News, information, conversation, controversy, and fun. This is the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe.
Well, once again, Biff, we have made it to, and hopefully through, a Friday. The week is almost done. Friday is here. Finally, it's Friday. Friday. We have a lot to do today on this show before we can wrap it up and call it a day, and then a lot more happening on the weekend here at the Watchdog, but almost Friday. Friday at 10 is the moment I look forward to. That's why I take a longer nap. I take a nap every day, but that's why I take a longer nap on Fridays. 25 degrees, Wheeling, Ohio County Airport. It's cold. 23 degrees at the home studios here in the Elm Grove section of Wheeling. 24 degrees at the Robinson Auto Group Studios, downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. I look at the forecast from Aaron Myler, and the S word is in this forecast. No, not that word. No, not snow. Sun. Sun is in the forecast. It's going to be sunny all weekend long. And it's going to be a little bit warmer, too. We'll be in the mid-50s. So weekend looks like it's going to be pretty good. Did you play golf last night, Biff? No, you had a game last night, right?
We weren't going anyway. It was too cold to play.
Have you wrapped it up for the year, do you think?
Unless something happens next week and it gets into the into the 60s, but with daylight saving time ending, that's probably not going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
So, I mean,
You don't do night ball, huh?
No. No, it's haven't done it. That would be heck. I've got trouble enough just with daylight. I could imagine what a dark and a neon golf ball would look like. It wouldn't be pretty, but no.
Might be kind of fun to try sometime, huh?
Yeah, give it a shot, see what happens. But hopefully nobody's around if we ever decide to do it. So
look at it this way: if they are, they won't be able to see you.
No, they won't. They'll just be able to feel that golf ball with a light hitting them, if anything. But hopefully that doesn't happen. But
Sam, something coming through the air. It looks like a UFO. It's a bam. Oh no, somebody's golf ball. Somebody's neon golf ball got me.
That would be my luck. That's the kind of luck that I have. But no, we last night if we had been able to play, probably would have been it. But it's just too cold. We've done that one time before. I think we had three of us the night we did that. It was me, my grandfather, and my uncle, and I think it was in April. And it was still cool in April. It was like 43, 44 degrees, I think. And it was so cold. I mean, it was to the point where my grandfather had to put gloves on because it was that cold. And we played around and just conditions were miserable, and it wasn't fun. I mean, we got the round in, but we looked at each other and we said, we're not doing that again.
Why are we here?
Yeah, there's no way. There's no way we're doing that again because the problem is not only with it being cold, but when the air is real heavy, the golf ball doesn't tend to travel as far as it normally does. So by the time you figure out that the golf ball is not traveling as far as it normally does, the clubs that you would normally use, you can't use them. So now you're figuring out, what clubs do you got to hit so that, you figure in for the heavy air and everything. And it's just, it's not fun. So.
Now, when you guys don't golf and like during the winter and so on, do you still get together on Thursdays or?
We still go out to eat for dinner, but we just make it later. So last night, had we not have had the Wheeling Central Oak Glen game, then we probably at about 7 o'clock would have went out to Generations probably for dinner, and we still have dinner during the winter. We don't completely just abandon Thursdays. We still go out and eat. We just do it later. That's all.
Couldn't you go up to that fake golf place up at the Highlands, and have don't they have a golf, I don't know what they call it.
Simulator.
You know what I'm talking about.
Simulator.
Yeah, simulator. Thank you.
Yeah.
It's Friday. My mind's not working. Yeah, simulator. Don't they have one of those up at the Highlands?
Yeah, Four Seasons, I think, is the...
There you go. That's it. That's FORE, Four Seasons. Right.
Yes,
now it's coming back to me.
How appropriate.
Yes.
Four spell FORE for
yes,
you.
Exactly.
For people that don't understand golf, four is a golf term, so hence the four FORE seasons. So,
four is a term that were I to golf, I would be using. Four is what you shout when your golf ball is going way off course and is about to hit someone.
Yeah, when you hit an errant shot, that's the word you usually yell at to alert others, and then after that you quietly say another four-letter word that begins with F that we're not allowed to say.
Also begins with F.
Yes, that we're not allowed to say. But you don't yell. You don't yell that to the other golfers. You just look at the other guys that are in your group and say that.
Gotcha. So, have you ever done the simulator? Period. Let me make that a periods question first. Have you ever done the?
I have not done the simulator. So
You guys ought to try that some Thursday during the wintertime, just for the heck of it.
Yeah, go up and see. Who knows? We might. I don't know.
We took our first ride through the Festival of Lights yesterday. Now, the lights weren't on. But last night, the Festival of Lights officially were turned on up at Ogilvy Park. 6:15. Ho, 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 Santa Claus was the official flipper of the switch, turned the lights on. Looked to me, I was watching the Big Sevens coverage, I think Catherine Guyon was about as excited as I've ever seen her, talking to Santa Claus. Santa Claus is here. Oh, boy. I am sure when the cameras went off, she said, Santa, I've got a list. I want to give it to you.
reached in the jacket pocket and pulled out a list and said, "Here."
I'm pretty sure. We didn't see that on TV, but I'm pretty sure. But they turned the lights on at 6:15, and then the first group of folks got a chance to go through, riding a trolley, most of them that was conducted by my friend, Conductor John. My friend, Conductor John, is retired from the park, and I saw him yesterday afternoon, and he had a sport coat on, was all dressed up, and he's a retired guy. I know what retired guys dress like. And we don't wear sport coats. I said, John, what are you? Oh, wait a minute. You're going to the Festival of Lights. He used to work at Ogilvy. He said, yes, I'm driving the trolley tonight. So Conductor John was driving the trolley. But we took our usual after school ride, Teddy and my wife and I, and we decided we haven't been up riding through Ogilvy for a while, so we rode through Ogilvy, and some of the lights were on. Now, here's what I said. This is scary. My friend John said, nah, it's normal. We're talking about 3:30 in the afternoon, okay? Lights turn on at 6 o'clock, right? You got workers out there changing the light bulbs. Just, so they have the lights on, so Snoopy was blinking and the first tunnel of lights was on. You got these guys just walking through, take the old bulb out, put the new bulb in, and I'm thinking, guys, it seems to me this should have been done before lights night. It just doesn't seem like you ought to be changing. And there were a lot, like whole rows were dark, so they were just sauntering along. Unscrew this one, put in another one, unscrew.
You know what they might have done, like Wednesday night when everybody was gone and it was dark enough that you could actually see. What if they did like a trial run and plugged in all the lights and then had like a map and figured out show where the lights were out and everything, and then that way all they had to do tomorrow afternoon or yesterday afternoon or whatever time they did it yesterday, just went back and then that just put the bulbs in that way. Maybe they knew ahead of time. That's why they were taking their time.
It probably is. And I said, when I mentioned it to John, he goes, 3:30. This is nothing. We got plenty of time. It just struck me that when the lights are coming on in a couple of hours it's cutting it short to be changing the light bulbs. But anyways, lights went on last night for the 36th year of the Festival of Lights. And I say this all the time, when things have become annual traditions forever, and I remember the first one, it always makes me feel so darn old, but I remember the first Festival of Lights and all the excitement surrounding it. And now it's in its 36th year. Ogilvy's Festival of Lights last year drew over 1 million visitors through the whole course of the holiday season. 6-mile drive around Ogilvy Park to see all the lights lit up. Every year they really improve it a lot. They added the other thing I missed this year, and I guess they're going to bring it back at some point, the nativity display that used to sit where the big fountain is up at what they call the hilltop, where the Mansion Museum is and where the glass shop is and so on. It was one of my favorite things. They had this big life-size nativity under a big glass case. It was one of my favorite parts, and they've taken it down. I guess on Channel 7 last night, I heard the head at Ogilvy saying that it just gotten a little bit tired and was kind of wearing out, and they're going to do some fixes on it and put it back up again. There's a giant tree there right now. But at any rate, I'm excited. Teddy was excited. He wanted to know when he could go through the lights and see them up in full color. And maybe next week one day we'll take our ride through because it's always a lot of fun. Do you go through the lights, Biff, or not?
It's been a while since I've been through the lights, but if we're up there occasionally, we see some of the ones that are up there. But I think I don't know if my sister I bet they did. I think they did last year. I think they took the little ones through last year, but I know me personally. It's been a while since I've been through, but I think looking last night, my favorite is the steamboat. The steamboat light that they. I can remember that being on the before they painted the garage by the tunnel. I always remember that steamboat was the light that was up there, and
That's right.
and for some reason, I guess it's because I can still remember when the wharf was down here, and they had that before they put the port in, and for some reason I think I liked the wharf or a boat or something that was there. So every time I saw that steamboat, I for whatever reason when we would drive through the lights when I was little, and I would see that steamboat up there on the parking garage, it made me think of the wharf for some reason. So
Yeah, well, I think you're right. They had something like that down at the wharf. So yeah.
that was probably, and that was one that they showed on the news, and it was funny because I was watching and they showed. I said, "Oh, there's the steamboat." So that's probably my favorite display up there.
Teddy likes the traditional kid stuff. He loves the Dr. Seuss characters. Snoopy was actually on. He was in the area that they were doing the work on, so Snoopy was actually on when we drove through. Now, in the daylight, you really can't see the lights that well, but there's Snoopy, Granddad. Yes, it is. He's a big Snoopy guy these days. So we took Teddy, I guess probably when he was 2. When they first moved back to town, he was 2. And he's gone. We've gone every year since then. He loves the lights. When he was 2, it was just more like, oh, light. Now he knows what they are and how they are, and he just enjoys it. So we will go through, and I encourage everybody. It's sometimes you get a little traffic. You got to give yourself a little time. That's okay. When my kids were kids, we used to buy a pizza and get like a couple liters of soda pop and just drink and eat in the car on the way up. So you get stuck on the hill, or you got in a line of traffic. Yeah, that's all right. Give me another piece of pizza. It was fun. If you haven't been there for a while, please go. If you have been there for a while, go too. But the Festival of Lights is always fun. Also yesterday, 7:23, by the way, 23 after the hour here, on excuse me, on the Watchdog Morning Show, roaming around 25 degrees. Also yesterday, just sort of in the theme of the season, if you will, Biff, the Festival of Trees opened up at Ogilvy Institute's Stifle Center in Wheeling. Every year, a group of folks put together, they make special holiday trees, little ones, big ones, all kinds of decorations, all kinds of fun stuff. And eventually they will sell them as a benefit for Ogilvy Institute. And yesterday was their kickoff event, and everybody there went there for luncheon. I did get an invitation to go to luncheon, but I did not go to lunch. But my wife and daughter-in-law went because those two actually put together a tree this year. They made a tree. In fact, it was featured, the video of their tree was featured on Channel 7's coverage last night. My son and daughter-in-law have a 3D printer. Yeah, they're those kind of people. They actually bought a 3D printer. It sits in their house. So all the ornaments were printed 3D. The whole theme, I think it's called Sweet Tree. The whole theme was basically they had rolling pins and cupcakes, and instead of a star on top of the tree, they had a baker's hat on top of the tree. They did a great job. I got to give them a lot of credit. My daughter-in-law she's extremely creative and artistic, and Nancy is learning. The two of them take art classes together, and she's learning. So I was proud of them, first of all. But the Festival of Trees opened up, so that is another event for the Upper Ohio Valley that officially got underway. And I guess if you look at those things, Biffy, it must mean that the holiday season is really here. The holiday events are getting started, right?
It is kind of the unofficial kickoff. Well, I guess you could call it official. The official kickoffs to the Christmas season.
I think the Festival of Lights switching, the big lights night o'clock last night. I think that probably would be the official start of the season here in the Ohio Valley. Now, I know folks think it's too early, but, you need the time. Beginning this weekend, you will start to see large numbers of people going through the park. And it will get worse and worse the closer it gets to Christmas. It'll get terrible on Thanksgiving weekend.
It's I can remember. I think it was the middle of December. This was a few years back when we were doing a basketball game up at West Liberty. It wasn't West Lib. I think Wheeling Park was playing up there for some reason, and I forget who they were playing. But I went up to set up for the guys and everything, and on the way back, I wasn't even thinking about it, and I ended up going through Ogilvy, which was a mistake because I got caught in the. All of a sudden, there was traffic, and I'm like, "What's this? What's this traffic?" And I thought, "Oh, you got to be kidding me! It's the light." I didn't realize that, for whatever reason, it would the day of the week that there would be. I mean, I figured there would be people going through, but I didn't think it would be, that bad. So when I saw the traffic, I'm like, why is there traffic here? And I'm thinking, oh, you know what? You're in the middle of the lights. Why didn't you go the other way? Just wasn't thinking about it at the time. So, yeah, if you're not going through, be careful which way you go so that you don't get stuck in the middle of it. But if you do, just go through. Find a way to get out.
It's one of the ways that I did see. I said before Teddy was born, Nancy and I didn't always go every year, but one of the ways I did see the festival often was in the days when we were still taping our TV show at West Liberty. More recent years, we've been taping them downtown. But when we were actually having to go up on the hilltop every week for the West Liberty TV show, McCabe and I, driving back through Ogilvy after taping, it usually was after dark, that's when I still got to see the lights. At least you get to see part of them by driving through. So that was kind of fun. Anyways, the season is officially underway, in case y'all didn't know, and now it is. There is another season that's not far away. In fact, we're underway already in some parts. Biff and I will talk about that coming up in a minute, and that is high school football playoff season. We had a game last night that had implications in playoffs. Big game tonight, Biffy, right?
Yes, and make sure during the break you get your whiteboard out because you will need it.
All right, get your whiteboard out. Be prepared. We're going to be talking about Football Friday today as the playoffs in West Virginia are preparing to gear up, and there are a lot of teams locally that have that may have a role to play. We got that coming up here on the Watchdog Morning Show. 7:28 after the hour. We're taking a look at a sunny day today. That's the good news, but a cold one. Daytime high only 49. Currently 25 at the Wheeling, Ohio County Airport, 23 here at the home studios, 24 at the Robinson Auto Group Studios downtown Wheeling in the heart of the Ohio Valley. Now, we'll take care of some news from the Big Seven for you. And Billy DeFabio has got some morning sports on this Football Friday. Then Aaron is got the forecast. I want to talk about Football Friday. That's coming up. And a number of other issues. In fact, what do we got coming up today? I should run that down for you here. Excuse me if I can find my little list. Festival of Lights, Festival of Trees, both open up in Wheeling. We're going to take a look at those. We already did. We turned the clocks back this weekend as daylight savings times ends. That always sparks calls for getting rid of this time change. But I got a couple of things here. First of all, a poll on what Americans think about that, and they're agreeing with you, Biffy. Boo, boo, let's not change the time. A new study, though, says if we got rid of daylight savings time, it would be bad for our health. Huh, okay, we will talk about that. Monongalia County Democratic Delegate Barbara Fleischauer hopes to move up to the Mountain State Senate. She officially announced it yesterday. We will talk with her today about her decision and her thoughts on the future of West Virginia. Senator Manchin tells CNN that working on Capitol Hill is a hostile work environment and reminds everybody he's a right-leaning Democrat. He's not a lefty. Okay. We'll hear some of that interview from CNN coming up a little bit later on this morning. It's Friday, So newspaper editor John McCabe and I have a regular Friday roundtable reviewing local news of the week, and the Friday Funnies will take a comedic look at middle age. Plus, Seinfeld has some thoughts about his childhood Superman costume. That's on the Friday Funnies. And that's all coming up after we check some news, which we will do right now, right here on the Watchdog Morning Show for a Friday.
The WTRF Channel 7 News Update is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
Now it.
Fifth, I'll do climate after Aaron, and then take a break if you need me to. Okay, so you think just one break will do it? Okay, that's fine. I've got plenty of stuff, so as always, that first segment ran longer than I planned to. Okay. Oh, I better look that. I don't know. I have to look that up. You just tell me is that what it is, explainer? Let me look it up here real quick and see which one. Let me read about him and see which one looks more interesting. First, of course, I have to find it. It's moved off page 1. Here it is, page 2. Let's see what his explainer. Yeah, let's do explainer. That's a good one. That's a good one. And then we did. If you change your mind and we need a break, I'll take it after that. Otherwise, we'll probably do daylight. No, we'll do football Friday. Barbara Fleischauer at 8:40. I did not hear from John, but I'm assuming he'll be on.
$72 yards and 3 touchdowns.
100%. When I can turn around, we have one play drive for, I think JT took it 75 or something like that. Those are the best drives in football for a quarterback. When you can just turn around and give it to a guy, and whatever the total number of 200 plus rushing yards today.
And it was a pretty good night for Colts running back Jonathan Taylor, 19 carries for 172 yards and 2 TDs. The Colts improved to 4-5. The Jets, struggling Jets, dropped to 2-6. Steelers will host the Chicago Bears Monday night. But an interesting AFC North matchup will take place Sunday as the Cleveland Browns will visit the Cincinnati Bengals. Bengals quarterback Joe Burrow having a great season. He's already thrown 20 TD passes.
I mean, almost every single team has struggled to run the ball against them. They're tough inside, and they do a really good job of keeping everything in front of them. So we're going to have a good plan. We're going to have to be ready to go as we do it every week.
Now with Cleveland, there are a lot of distractions. So let's hear from quarterback Baker Mayfield.
So it comes down to realizing our priorities. Our job is to go out there and do anything we can to win. And we have to be focused because Cincinnati's playing well right now.
Pens at home Thursday night beat the Flyers of Philadelphia in overtime 3-2. Chris Letang with the game-winning goal in OT.
It's a nice one, especially that we can't really control what's happening. It's not like guys are getting injured right now. It's just we're testing positive, and even if guys are feeling good, they cannot play.
Saturday night, the Penguins will host the Minnesota Wild. MLB note, Giants catcher, maybe a future Hall of Famer, Buster Posey, retired from baseball, 34 years old, spent 12 years with San Francisco. Posey was a 7-time All-Star and earned 3 World Series rings. That should put him in the Hall of Fame. I'm Bill DeFabio on sports, and we are the Watchdog and your voice in the Ohio Valley.
Hi, this is Hoppy Kercheval. Join me weekdays at 10:06, right after the Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe for Statewide Talk Line. I'll have guests, conversations, texts, phone calls, and all the big stories affecting West Virginia.
Why don't you get rid of that before we make a mistake with it?
And the Nailers with the most dramatic of victories. 5 seconds left, they score.
Nailers hockey is coming back, and so should you. Join us for opening night, Saturday, November 6th. Puck drops at 7:10 at West Banco Arena. Kick the night off with a pregame fan fest with inflatables for all ages, plus postgame autographs, and each fan takes home a magnet schedule. Gotta get back to the excitement of Nailers opening night. Buy your tickets now. Call 304-234-GOLD or go to wheelingnailers.com.
You took the first step and quit smoking, but even former smokers may still be at risk for lung cancer. That's why SaveByTheScan.org wants you to know about a new low-dose CT scan that can detect lung cancer early. It takes only 60 seconds and could save your life. You took the first step, now take the next. Visit SaveByTheScan.org for a simple quiz to see if you're eligible and talk to your doctor about screening. SaveByTheScan.org is brought to you by the American Lung Association's Lung Force Initiative and the Ad Council.
The Mountaineers are climbing.
And the final seconds coming off of the clock here at the 62nd Liberty Bowl.
And the best is yet to come.
It's hit and dropped. They got him again. There goes Lenny Brown. He's going to score 6. Fires it toward the end zone. Touchdown, West Virginia.
Join us all season long on your home for Mountaineer football. MSN, the Mountaineer Sports Network.
Hey, I'm going to the kitchen. Can I grab you a Coors Light?
Yeah, that sounds good.
Huh. I never knew there was a zip line in my fridge. Hey! Hey, buddy! Yeah! You got 2 Coors Lights up there?
You got it.
Always brewed down to 34 degrees. With a taste as cold as the Rockies, only Coors Light gives you refreshment every time.
Here you go. 2 Coors Lights.
Awesome, man. Wow, these are really cold.
That's the only way I deliver it.
Sure. I mean, you being a mountain climber and all.
Yep.
You probably need a pretty warm coat in there, huh?
Yep.
Hey, Ben.
Yeah.
Ask him if he has any nachos.
You got any nachos in there?
No.
Just icy cold Coors Light?
Yep.
That makes sense. It is the Rockies.
Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado. With great beer comes great responsibility.
The Watchdog prides itself in being involved in our community, and we want to hear from you. Does your organization have an event that you would like promoted on the radio? Please send us the details via our website, watchdognetwork.com. Just click on our contact page and fill the information. Live, local, and here for our community. Share your events with the Watchdog.
Conversation you care about from people you know. The Watchdog Morning Show with Howard Monroe continues.
The low rider is a little higher.
We were talking about the start of the holiday season. Festival of Lights opened up last night. Festival of Trees actually opened up yesterday afternoon. But Festival of Lights, I said, and I think Biff concurs with me, is it's really sort of the official start of the holiday season here in the Ohio Valley. Has been for the last 36 years. You turn the lights on at Oglebay. That's sort of the granddaddy event that defines our Upper Ohio Valley's Christmas season. And then so many other things, of course, circulate around it and occur around it. And so, but I consider it to be, and I think many people do, the official start, the kickoff of the festival of the Christmas season. Now, I got a text at 304-214-1600, 304-214-1600, and it was criticizing my choice of that as the official start of the holiday season. And I anticipated what this was going to say was, no, it's too early, Howard. We don't start the season till after we have Thanksgiving. That's what I expected. This person went completely the other way. Howard, the official start of the Christmas season was December 26th of last year. That's kind of true. In a way, Christmas is over. Let's start getting ready for next year. So that's a good point. But I think here in the Ohio Valley, it's the Festival of Lights that actually marks the beginning of the holiday season. And now so many more events will be coming up, and we'll be talking about all of them. I don't know, does if the radio station that plays Christmas music, have they started that yet, Biffy, do you know?
Yes, it was yesterday. I don't know exactly what.
So they're playing their.
Yeah, I don't know exactly what time yesterday, but I know it was on because you remember those 4-letter words that we said we were talking about the first segment? Well, I said it last night after.
Which one?
The one that starts with F, the bad one that we get, not 4.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
The other one?
No, not 4. Oh.
Yeah, no. It wasn't 4. When I turned the radio on and all of a sudden I heard that, I said the other word that begins with F because I couldn't believe it.
Yeah, it still seems like, listen, I believe we're in the holiday season, but sometimes that we start the holiday music so soon. I know it's, for radio stations that play music, it's a really super, super successful format. People love to hear Christmas music. And, they began by playing it on, I don't know what, before, maybe around Thanksgiving when all this Christmas stations ideas started across the country. And then it got earlier and earlier. Kind of like the Hallmark movies on television, They used to have, 25 or the 12 days of Christmas movies on Hallmark. Then the 25 days of Christmas movies. Then they'd have the 25 days of Christmas movies on Hallmark, plus the 12 days to preview the 25 days. And then they would have Christmas movies in July. Anyways, it just gets bigger and bigger and longer and longer. But so they are playing the Christmas music on the Christmas music station here in town. All right.
Yeah, I had us on last night listening to the sports map overnight, and they went to break, and I thought I'll switch it over and see what's
flip around.
Yeah, flip around, see what kind of music they had. And when I heard that, I just immediately got that stunned.
Have a holly jolly Christmas, and in case you didn't hear.
Yeah, after the stunned and shocked look, the words said after that were not pretty. So, and then I immediately.
And it wasn't 4. It wasn't 4. Not that. No, not that 4-letter golf word we're talking about.
No, it wasn't 4. And then I immediately switched it back to Sports Map overnight with us and was listening till I got home. So.
We have realized we have to start being careful about texting in our family. We have a family group, my daughter-in-law and my son and my wife and I. So when we communicate, we tend to text as a group. And the problem is my grandson Teddy, of course, he can read pretty good, and he takes a phone. He likes to take a phone, and he will actually text with me sometimes. I'll be sitting at home, hi, Granddad, and so he knows how to use the phone. So the other night, his dad was texting his mom. His mom was here at our house. His dad was still at work. And his dad texted his mom. And she just said, oh, what's your dad at? And he said, oh, let me see. No, you know what? No, let me see. And he grabs the phone, and he went, oh, Dad has said a bad word. It was like I tried to pro. I said, Teddy, what? And he goes, well, it wasn't. And he said the S word. He said it wasn't that word. I said, oh. He goes, Daddy said the F word. Oh God. All right, we have to be careful with not what we say, but what we text as well. All right, let's talk about the weather. We have the S word in the forecast. The S word's in the forecast. No, not the snow word. Not the snow word, but the other word, Aaron Myler.
Sunshine.
Yeah. The good S word.
Yeah. Yeah, it's going to be pretty great for the next several days here. So, no complaints besides, everybody will still complain about the cold, but, It's never going to be perfect.
Well, nighttime's going to be cold, but actually the weekend, moderate temperatures for this time of year, right? Will be in the 50s, flirting with 60 occasionally. So, I mean, it's not bad.
Yeah, tomorrow's high of 55 is exactly where we should be. I think we all just want, like, better than exactly where we should be. So.
And it's just really the sunny is in. That is your forecast basically through Monday at least, right?
Yeah, it's looking real sunny. It looks like Tuesday we'll have some clouds building in throughout the day there. But I mean, overall, the next 4 days here are going to be warming up a little bit more. 60s is still pretty good though. Warming up a little bit more. It'll be staying sunny. So can't complain.
But nighttime temperatures through the weekend are still going to be cold. Couple of nights below freezing, couple just a little bit above freezing. So still be prepared for the nighttime cold. But hey, it's cold right now. I got 25 at the airport, 23 here at my home studios, and 24 downtown at the Robinson Auto Group studios. Is that about where temperatures are around the area in the mid 20s or so?
Yeah, pretty much. Everyone's sitting in the mid 20s at this point in time, so it's not terrible, but well, take that back. It's terrible, but I feel like it could be worse if it was windy outside.
Right. It's terrible, but it could be worse. And I think that's a measure we should always use. Hey, it could be worse, right?
I'm like, okay, that's what I've been saying all morning. I was like, it's cold, but at least it's not windy with it, because that would make it even worse. So, yeah, not great by any means, but also could be worse.
And you know what's funny? This is the fifth. I think we started on Monday in the below freezing temperatures. I think Monday we were in the 30s in the morning. By this, it's Friday, and I'm kind of getting used to this for the morning now. I mean, it was like, oh my God, no! On Friday, or on Monday, I mean. And now it's like, oh, okay, all right, it's 25, it's going to warm up, It's just, like everything else, we get used to it,
I agree. I'm like, it's not my first choice, but also it's like, I'm now, I thought this morning, okay, get out there, get early, turn your car on because it's going to be cold. I thought about everything before I actually did it for once. Because, usually I don't think about, I wasn't thinking about it because I just wasn't paying attention. And then eventually you just start to get in the routine.
Have you priced out these remote starts yet for your car?
Yeah, I got a quote back from some company around here. It was $400, and I was like, oh, well, maybe not.
Maybe we should start a GoFundMe campaign to get Aaron a remote start.
They have GoFundMe campaigns for just about anything. I mean, why not? I bet we could do well.
That's what I'm thinking. Why not?
The sad thing is, I'm sure we could get it, but I would feel really guilty, so I would have to give it to charity anyways.
Yeah, see, you apparently have a higher sense of morality than I do. Were I in your position, I do have a remote start, so I don't need one. But if I were in your position, and people gathered together and got money for me to get a remote start, and I got it installed, and I'm sitting in my nice warm car that I didn't have to worry about scraping, I'd be thinking, thank you, people, thank you, but I wouldn't be saying donate to charity. That's
yeah, it's funny. Sure. Even whenever I'll go out with friends, Stephanie can attest to this. I hate when people pay for me. I just feel like it's so awkward, and I'm always just like, oh, I don't know. I'm just very I like to be independent with all of that. So I don't know. It's weird.
When I was around your age, a bunch of us would hang out together, and the approach I always took was, when I've got some money, I buy for people. When I don't have money, people will buy for me.
Yeah, I think that's probably a good idea. I should stick with, but
it's always been,
I'm fine with it when I'm the one paying. I love that, but it's when it's the other way around. It just, I don't know. But it shouldn't be that way, because either way, it's it's evening out at some point, kind of thing.
Again, when I was in high school and college in particular, and maybe as a young adult, but more high school and college, when the money was very tight, if I had some money in my pocket, I would go into the Alpha, and if I see my buddies there, I just say, hey, let's all have some beers, and that's fine. And it's also the place I knew I could go if I didn't have any money. Somebody was going to buy me a beer. And I never felt bad about that because I always bought back. Hey, speaking of charity, it's almost time for Dancing with the Stars.
It is. It's tomorrow. We're almost here. It's like we're having a mini dress rehearsal for just ourselves tonight, my partner and I, and then the whole thing's tomorrow. So we'll see. About what? I think we have a dress rehearsal, like a full dress rehearsal, like with everybody tomorrow. So I'll get to start to see everybody's dances and see how the competition looks. So
You haven't seen, you don't get to see each other's dances yet. I mean, you practice individually, so you haven't seen anybody else's.
yeah, I haven't seen them. The only thing I've seen is like videos of, like, there's like a group dance at the beginning, and I've seen a video of the group dance just because I haven't been able to go to them. Every time they've had rehearsal, I have been asleep because I go to bed so early for work. And everyone's been asking, I guess, my partner, she's like, everyone keeps asking where you are. Because they've never met you. Like, they've never seen you here yet, and everybody else is there, and you're the one that's missing. And she's always like, he goes to bed at 6 o'clock. Like, you can't be here at 9 o'clock at night.
But let me ask you, how in the world are you going to do the group dance if you don't do the group dance with the group before you do the group dance?
Well, so we've been learning it separately. Like my partner, she goes, so she learned the whole thing, and I've learned it. And it's not, the group dance is more on like the dancers themselves. The rest of us only have like maybe like 20 seconds or 30 maybe. So like we're not really out there doing that much. It's mostly the dancers do it. Kind of like on like the real Dancing with the Stars. The group number is always fun because it's like the pros doing it, so it's fun to watch because like it's actually good. But
So what time tomorrow night is that?
7 o'clock. Doors open at 6.
And it's at?
The Capitol Theater.
That's what I thought. That's the Capitol.
Yeah, it's like
Dancing with the Stars.
I'll go to charity to get in, so it's going to be a fun night overall. And then hopefully, you will be seeing me get crowned at the end, even though I don't think there's a crown, but I want a crown.
I want a crown. Well, Biff, that's a second GoFundMe we got to start. The crown for, so we got the remote start and the. Can we put them together into one fundraiser? It would be the crown and remote start GoFundMe. Maybe we'll have to. Work on that.
I have crown, but it's not the. I don't think it's the one that Aaron wants. Though.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. Yeah, actually, come to think of it, I've got some crown around here as well. Yes, it's a good point. It's a good point. Aaron, good luck at Dancing with the Stars. We'll see how you did. We'll talk about it on Monday. Have a nice, enjoyable weekend otherwise, and we'll chat again Monday morning.
Yeah, we'll talk about how it went.
All right. Thanks. Have a good day. Have a good weekend.
You too. Enjoy the crown.
All right. Aaron Myler from the Big 7 WTRF TV. He is one of the stars who will be dancing tomorrow night in the Ohio Valley's Dancing with the Stars. They've never asked me to do that, Biff.
But
they asked you?
But they did ask you to play basketball.
Well, yeah, the Reverend Cummings did ask me to play basketball, but that didn't work.
No,
didn't work out very well either.
No, they have not, and quite frankly, I have no rhythm. I'll admit it. I'm rhythmless.
Yeah, well, I've said that, there's a song, I should know who sang it, I can't remember, but I can't dance, don't ask me. That's been me my entire life. And I know I've said this many times before. My wife had to almost literally drag me on the floor to do a wedding dance. I just don't dance. Unless a little bit of alcohol gets involved at a time.
Unless there's a little bit of help with that.
Yeah, then it gets to be a bit of a problem. Hey, speaking of the basketball game, I want to do this real quick. The Reverend Cummings and his North Wheeling Dream Center preparing for their Thanksgiving food and Christmas basket giveaways. And one of the fundraisers will be this weekend, Sunday, the Ohio Valley Lions versus the Ohio Valley All-Stars. A bunch of local celebrities getting together and playing goofy football. Can I call it goofy football? I think that's probably a good phrase, right?
Basketball.
I'm sorry, basketball, yeah. Well, that would be really goofy football if they threw the football through the basket. The Reverend calls it an eclectic group of local leaders and celebrities. So there you go. It's Sunday, 7 o'clock, the Highland Sports Complex. Tickets are on sale now. If you want to be part of the, to go watch the comedy basketball show. Proceeds go for the North Wheeling Youth Center's Thanksgiving food and Christmas basket giveaways. Our good Reverend Covington's friend does that every year. Next week, we'll be talking with the Rev, or sometime soon, about the food basket giveaways, but I did want to make sure I mentioned the basketball game. I almost said football again. The basketball game this weekend. High-flying slam dunks, music and dancing. It says that right here. That's why I said it that way. Hilarious comedy, high-flying slam dunks, music and dancing. The Ohio Valley Lions versus the Ohio Valley All-Stars. All right, 7:56, 4 before the hour here on the Watchdog Morning Show. It's a Football Friday in the Ohio Valley and here on the Watchdog, and Biff and I need to take some time to go through all of that with you. We'll kick off the next hour by talking about Football Friday coming up here on the Watchdog and throughout the Upper Ohio Valley. A lot of playoff implications. And I need to go out and get my whiteboard, Biff?
Yes, you will need a whiteboard because last night Jerry and Ryan, who called the Wheeling Central and Oak Glen game, went through the scenarios for Wheeling Central. With the win last night, I can tell you this. Right now, Wheeling Central is in 8th in the Class A rankings, which would mean they would get a first-round home game. Now, there is a slight possibility that they could bump down to 9, which would mean James Monroe is in 9th, which would mean that Wheeling Central would have to go to James Monroe if everything happens tonight that James Monroe needs, which is a 4.5 to 5 hour bus trip. If you know where Blacksburg, Virginia is,
I do.
That's in that area. That's where James Monroe is. So that's what's at stake. You're talking about a 4.5 hour bus ride to basically
versus home team
versus
home field
versus staying at home and playing here at Wheeling University. That's what's
we'll
on
take
the
a look
line
at that
tonight.
game from last night. We'll also take a look at the big game coming up tonight here on the Watchdog, a critical game as well. And we'll get into all of that coming up in the next hour. I want to wrap up our series on climate from ABC News. You know, as President Biden and leaders all around the country gathered in Glasgow this week for a climate summit, ABC News Radio has been looking into the climate challenges facing this world. It's been a week-long series we've given for you. ABC News chief meteorologist Ginger Z kind of explains for us what in the world this whole climate change is all about.
Climate change. I know, you're thinking the climate has always changed. But we are talking about the human interaction with our climate and how rapidly it's changed. So climate you can think of as the personality. Weather would be more like the mood. That changes more day to day. Climate is a longer, broader picture. When we're talking about human-induced climate change, we're talking about the rapid rate of change that we've never seen before. We've seen rapid Arctic sea ice loss. There are native folks up there who are losing their homes and losing their livelihood because of the lack of permafrost. Sea level rise, already impacting cities right here in the United States from Virginia down to Miami, and especially when we talk about hurricane season, any inch extra of sea level rise has a huge impact when you're talking storm surge potential. How will climate change impact us? I think the question is, how won't it impact us? I'm ABC's Ginger Z.
It's almost 8 o'clock here on the Watchdog Morning Show. Coming up next hour, we'll talk to Barbara Fleischauer, who wants to become a state senator in West Virginia. And we'll kick things off with Football Friday, the Friday funnies, and some entertainment news all coming up. But first, we'll check with ABC. They cover the world for us right now.
The Watchdog is FM 98.1, AM 1600 WKKX Wheeling, FM 97.7, AM 1370 WVLY Moundsville.
The ABC News is brought to you by Thomas Auto Centers, Mall Road, St. Clairsville. Get the best deal at Thomas Auto Centers.
I'm Dave Packer. A major...
Biff, I'll do the Seinfeld and middle-age comedy cuts that I sent you. Plus, I didn't look to see, is there late night from last night? Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, late night. Okay. All right, so I'll do those jokes. I'll do Seinfeld and I forget who, D. Williams or something like that has comedy about being middle-aged. I sent that to you last night. Okay. I think I will do, then I'll do some entertainment news, and I'll do the celebrity gossip and ABC Entertainment as well. I'm not sure which I'm going to do first. Correct. But, yeah. Okay. And it'll be a little bit iffy because I want to get a good segment on football, so we'll see. We'll do football for sure. We'll do the comedy for sure, and then if we have time for entertainment, I'll get it in. Barbara Fleischauer at 8:40. At least that's my plan right now. We've got 8 minutes for it to get screwed up. Okay. Yeah, well, we don't, but let's make it sound that way. Right, exactly. All right, I'm going to get some more coffee. I'll be back in a minute.